What the fuck is that? It looks like it's moving with the clouds.
Oh, do you see this?
What the fuck? That's fucking crazy. What the fuck is that? Oh my god, it fucking disappeared. What the fuck? What the fuck was that?
Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. Well, I mean, it's days like this that I am so thankful to be able to operate a channel like this where we can get footage like this out. And I gotta tell you guys, I think we got a live one here. This object was witnessed by multiple sources. Now, not just the sources related to the person who shot this footage, who were in the footage speaking, but another source who sent me a few pictures about a month ago that I have been able to link back to this sighting here, which I'm going to show you in just a second. But first, this mind-blowing footage, which finally made its way to me by the source who is a local of Dayton, Ohio, and actually lives very close to the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. And we're going to talk about that in just a moment. So the source of this who is filming, who you're hearing in the video, is a woman and her husband. Now, the woman is doing most of the talking, albeit using some adult language throughout, and I apologize for that. However, I didn't want to edit it out simply because it would take away from how the source was feeling at that moment, and we definitely want to have that audio in. I don't want to censor anything. So, the source and her husband were outside on the front porch. Their kids were out playing, and the sun had just begun going down. They had these beautiful orange and red clouds overhead, and it was actually the husband who spotted this object, and it was the wife who grabbed her phone and began recording. And according to them, basically, this object, the way it was moving was very strange because it seemed to be moving with the clouds. As you're seeing in the video, there's various clouds scattered throughout the sky, but there is a small set of clouds in the middle where this object is basically sitting behind, but it's obviously the clouds are much too thin to cover the object. But when you stabilize the footage, you definitely come to realize that this object is slowly moving damn near perfectly with these clouds. Now, this may just be a coincidence that these clouds were there, and this object was moving anyway. But again, it's moving very slowly and seems to be moving with this cloud cover. And the sources said it made no sound. I mean, there's no sound recognizable coming from the object in the video. But they said that it was very eerie. There was no sound. It was a solid object that had this very strange pointed end to it on the bottom. And some other markings on it. I mean, this was a shock to the sources and other neighbors who were outside who saw this. So at the time this was filmed, there was basically a group of people standing there. The neighbors across the street were standing outside watching the object too, trying to figure out what this thing was. And again, this happened very close to the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. And by the way, this actually occurred on Wednesday the 25th. However, it took the sources a few days after catching it, who are not UFO researchers, who do not particularly watch UFO videos online, to find us. Basically, after they had recorded the footage and it sat for a few days in their camera, they got online. Well, the wife got online and started doing some research, looking around for places to send it to, and she actually sent it to a few UFO investigation websites. I believe MUFON may have been one of them, I'm not sure, but she said she definitely sent it to a local television station in Columbus, Ohio, and also sent it to a couple UFO people that she had found online, one of them being me. She found my email on one of my videos after Googling UFO sightings, and we had actually posted some sightings that have been captured very close to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. So we got this email and this devastating video, and when I watched this video, there was a very small spark that went off in my head that led me to believe that I had seen this object before, possibly. Now, I went to my email, where at this point in time, I get between 100 and 200 emails a day. And I remembered that about a month ago, I received a set of 2 images from a person who also said that they lived on the outskirts of Dayton, Ohio, a little bit farther away from this source who sent me this video. So I went back, took me about an hour to go through all of my emails and finally get back to the one of these 2 images that had been sent to me. Now, at the time, the images were not enough to go on to where I would make a video about it. But I do keep all of my footage and emails and pictures for later on, just in case I get another sighting that looks like a possible craft sent to me earlier. So I went back and I found these pictures, and lo and behold, as you're seeing here, I think we've got a match. Now, these 2 photographs were taken with a Canon 70D DSLR camera, which is the type of camera that has like a telescopic lens on it and allows you to get very high resolution up close pictures from very far away. It has a zoom lens on it, or you can buy zoom lenses. And by the way, for UFO sightings and for sky watchers, I definitely recommend getting one of these types of cameras. And the source video that we just showed you is actually just filmed on a regular Galaxy S6 cell phone. So these 2 images that you're seeing here, and we'll zoom in on the first one as you're seeing here, where the object is a little bit blurry, but it definitely looks like the shape of the object you're seeing in this video here. And then we have a second photo taken just a few seconds later as this object moved through the sky. And again, the source who sent me these images saw this object moving slowly through the sky, didn't know what it was, but it had a very odd shape to it. So then I looked at the second image, which gives us a much clearer shot with not so much motion blur as the first image, and lo and behold, it is, without a doubt in my mind, the same craft. I mean, look at this thing. And we're showing you a zoomed in version here. And because the object was so far away, you know, even with these DSLR cameras, there's only so far that you can zoom out and take a picture, especially if the object was far away, as it was in this image. So basically, these pictures were taken using the full zoom capabilities of the lens she was using on this Canon camera. And, I mean, look at this thing. It's the same UFO. It's the same craft. I mean, you look at the details on this thing, the shape of it, and it is exactly the same craft from this video. And I am simply amazed. We have someone else corroborating this sighting, because people don't like to look like they're crazy. I mean, a lot of the people who send me in videos and pictures of these sightings talk about how hard it was for them to email me in the first place, because they do not want to look like kooks or conspiracy theorists or name your label, you know, that the mainstream likes to use for people like us. And a lot of people don't send in their footage because they're nervous about how they'll be looked at. So obviously it was a big relief for the source of the images to know that we had video now, and that we would be able to publish these in a video, and that we would be able to link these pieces of evidence together. Now, what is more interesting is that these happened near a military base called Wright-Patterson. Now, everybody always talks about Area 51. Area 51 is the big secret military base where they've got aliens and all this secret technology that they're testing. But few people know, and a lot of past military people and people who've worked at Wright-Patterson have said that Area 51's not the real deal. That's just the cover-up. That's just the cover military base that they pretend is so secret to take your eyes away from a base like Wright-Patterson, which is, quoting them, the real Area 51. So this is Wright-Patterson that you're seeing here. And even when you're talking about the 1947 Roswell crash of this flying disc that crashed in Roswell, New Mexico, there have been a lot of rumors that the government stored the debris and the artifacts from these flying saucers at Wright-Patterson's Hangar 18. And this government installation was first opened in 1917 to train military personnel during the First World War. And as I said, there have been numerous people that have come out and talked about the things that they've seen at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. In fact, there was even a report that was submitted to MUFON that came out last year, well, in 2014, that was filed by a grandchild of a woman who received information firsthand in 1960 who, after having it basically weighing on her mind all of these years, finally came out and spoke about the fact that a very close friend of hers who worked at the base confirmed that indeed there were alien bodies from the Roswell incident, and that those bodies were transferred and stored at Wright-Patterson. So I will let you guys look up more information. You can do your research on Wright-Patterson. But when it comes to secret military bases that may have something to do with the alien phenomenon, the first thing I don't think of is Area 51. No, the first thing I think of is Wright-Patterson, and this footage that we've received confirmed that for me. There is not a doubt in my mind that this is either an alien craft, or B, a very, very strange drone, which I highly doubt, and 3, a back-engineered alien craft that's being tested by some black project over at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. So, again, amazing footage. Have any of you guys out there witnessed this craft, especially if you live near the Dayton, Ohio area? And for that matter, do you have any relatives that worked by chance at Wright-Patterson? Because I'd like to know more about it. I'd like to get more evidence and really dig down into what happened there. Because I don't think enough people talk about Wright-Patterson. It's always about Area 51, and Area 51's been done to death. And you gotta wonder why everyone's focus is always on Area 51, and it seems like the mainstream media even pushes the whole Area 50, almost like they're trying to take our attention away from other bases like this. Because there is activity happening there, and we've caught the activity happening right here. 3 separate sources have seen this craft within the last month near the base, and that's all I gotta say about it. I mean, the footage and the photos speak for themselves. So amazing finds. Big thanks to the sources. You know who you are, and who I am going to keep anonymous by my choice, not theirs, because I think they've caught something here that could potentially get them into trouble. Now, I am going to have continued dialogues with the sources who are going to keep a very open eye to what's going on in the skies around Dayton. The word has been spread around Dayton already about this craft and about possible UFO activity, and I told them to let me know the next time they see or hear anything. So until then, let me know what you guys think. Some amazing footage, some amazing images. And I just pray that I don't get in trouble for publishing it, but that's usually not how the government works. They usually decline to try to take down footage because it would only solidify the validity of said footage. So let me know what you guys think. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe on your way out, and stick around because, of course,